What's happening out there, everybody? Welcome back to a Wednesday night episode of Speak Your Mind. And of course, I'm your host, Derek Stroman, and I'm just glad to be back, man. It's been a couple weeks passed by. It is the new year. I'm very excited to bring in the new year with all of you. I feel good, I feel like I'm, trying to stay up and stay in shape and be ready for all the exciting things that have been coming my way. And, a lot of you out there that are actually probably watching right now are included in a lot of those really cool, exciting things. So, very fortunate. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. All of that great stuff that you should say and you should feel when you are in great company of some of these awesome people, including like my guest this evening, great individual doing awesome things. And I can't wait for him to tell his story a little bit. And we're going to get into some things that might interest you all out there. And I hope that y'all stay tuned. I won't keep you too late this evening. And just get ready for another exciting show. So, you all know how I like to do it. The show begins now. Okay, okay. All right, we're back. Like I said, I have a great guest this evening, formerly employed by WVAL. Um, he even holds a world record. Did y'all hear me? He holds a world record. Now, I don't know how many people you all out there know that actually hold world records, but I can honestly say I know at least one, and the only one, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my awesome guest in Jimmy Mathis. You all, how's it going, Jimmy? Let me get you unmuted here, Jimmy. How's it
Hey,
going, Jimmy? How are you?
I'm doing good, Doug. I appreciate the invite. We've been trying to do this for a while, and I know our schedule sort of kept missing. So I appreciate your perseverance and hope to come back real soon. But I'm glad we got this done. I appreciate you reaching out to me.
No problem, no problem. This won't be the last show either, because like I expressed pre-show, there's some things that I want to do with you, as far as us combining forces and
Yeah,
doing some really awesome stuff in this film world, because people don't really understand or maybe just know just how talented you are as far as things you've done in your lifetime. And I know we only have a short show here, so we're not going to really go into all of the things that you've done, because we'd
this
be
is a
here.
great build-up, my friend. I got to tell you.
Right. Well, it'd be all the way until tomorrow morning. I mean, some people know you from on air. Some people have probably seen you on TV.
Yeah.
So let's. I guess we can. Let's start with because I've just personal questions of my own. I remember hearing you on air on the radio, listening to you on WBAL and things of that nature. What was that experience like? And you know when you first got acclimated with them, and what did it take to actually get a job like that? I mean, was it hard, or was it kind of like you came fresh out of school as a youngster, and that's kind of how you got introduced? I mean, what was that process like for you?
The radio road was kind of a long haul. So my background by trade is television production. So a video editor, photographer, and over the years at every station here in Baltimore except JZ and at the network level in Washington D.C. Like I said, been a photographer, been an editor. So behind the camera was sort of my role in the business by trade. In 2006, I believe I ran for Congress against Dutch Rupersberger I had no shot of winning that race, but always had an interest in politics. And my goal was to win the Republican nomination, which I was fortunate enough to do. After Congressman Rupersberger beat me in the general election, I had gotten some on-air exposure from the election. And Chip Franklin was over at WBAL at the time. And I kind of stuck around as a full-time guest. So I would contribute, maybe once a month or so. They had a show called Week in Review at the time, which is where I got my start. And I always wanted to have my own show. And I pitched it for years. And eventually they gave me a 2-hour test show. And it was on a Sunday, what was paid programming at the time. So a show didn't even occupy the time slot. And I got to be honest with you, it was disastrous. I never thought that I would get an invite back again. And over the year, it was about a year or so, I started filling in for the talk show host. And then unfortunately, the great Ron Smith got sick, and he battled pancreatic cancer for about 6 or 7 months. And I took over that show while he was battling that horrible disease. After he passed, they rearranged a bunch of the day parts at BAL, and I started to get pretty consistent work. And C4, actually, Governor Bob Ehrlich had my Saturday show. When the governor left, C4, who obviously is still in the air, took the show, and then they moved C4 into a bigger role, and I took over that show, and then they expanded my show, and that lasted about 10 years. And everybody thinks TV is a little sexier, and it's probably it was probably viewed that way more. I've always had a love for radio. I really have. All the stuff we sell in radio, to the theater of the mind, and the intimacy that you have with the audience, and the immediacy of it. And I just think it is such a cool media. And I was very, very blessed and fortunate to have the support that I had at WAL for all those years. And it's something I miss, but 10 years is a good run in this business at a single station. So it was a great, great, great life experience.
Yeah, like I said, pre-show, I've heard you numerous times. I forget what time slot was that you were on again.
I started out on Saturdays 7 to 10, and then we expanded it to Sunday also 7 to 10. People used to, when I first started, kind of dump on my time slot a little bit. It never made any sense to me. My Sunday show, we were toe to toe against Meet the Press.
Mm-hmm.
We had our ratings were great. We cultivated amazing relationships with the police commissioner, with the mayor, with governors, with city council, state senators. We built it out nationally with U.S. secretaries. We had Donald Trump on as a guest, an ongoing segment with Roger Stone. So obviously it was a local radio show, but we probably did more national stuff than most local shows would. It was probably 60% national, 40% local. One of the things that I always really appreciated about BAL was I had the ability to kind of program the show the way I wanted to. And we weren't always, obviously we talked about whatever the hot story was of the day, but we had the freedom to build out stories and to talk about things that maybe the other outlets weren't talking about, things that would go on to become real news. One of the greatest examples of this was Common Core. When we started talking about Common Core, when I say nobody knew what it was, I mean nobody knew what it was. Local politicians didn't know what it was. Teachers, administrators. We started latching onto that because we saw what was happening at the federal level, and we were harping on Common Core for about a half a year before it became a daily story. And it was really cool, Derek, because by the time it was within the 24-hour news cycle, my audience was already up to speed on it. So the ability to be able to really control your content when you're looking at a broadcast, media outlet is a rarity. And that was really cool. The creative discretion that we had on the show was something that I was always very, very appreciative of.
Cool. Let me ask you, for people who lack knowledge of what Common Core is,
Right.
what does that mean? Can you explain to the audience a little bit about what Common Core is?
Most simplistically put, it was the nationalization of our education, K through 12, when it comes to the curriculum, when it comes to funding, when it comes to just parental sovereignty and sovereignty being stripped away by teachers and administrators and nobody having a vote on it. And Derek, the way I would always frame things within the show, and sure, it was opinion based, but I tried to build it out from a constitutional standpoint, and I used to frame things very much on how does the Constitution play into this. And education is something that most people, I think, would agree should be a local issue. And Common Core, which, by the way, was the continuation of George Bush's No Child Left Behind, which was a colossal disaster. This was just that on steroids. And the reason why I was always so passionate about this was as more things become nationalized, we as Americans lose control over them because there's a lack of accountability, and even politicians at the local level, they're losing they're losing power. They're losing the bat that they swing. And we've seen this. It's not limited to a party or to an administration. I mean, this has been going on ever since I've been born. It has just been this erosion of individual liberty, of state sovereignty. And so that was the way I would try to kind of frame a lot of the programs. I said it was 3 E's. We have a show, so we need to engage you. We also want to entertain you. And at the end of the day, hopefully we educate you and not take anything too seriously. I never believed on hosting the show on hanging up on callers or name calling, or I mean, it's a lot of what you see right now. Look, the show was a conservative radio show. There was no question about that. But I had a good trust and a great relationship with with Catherine Pugh, with Sheila Dixon, with Kevin Davis, the police commissioner, with Brandon Scott when he was on the city council, with Nick Mosby, with a lot of these people. And we didn't agree on a lot of things politically, but there was a level of trust and respect where you could still have conversations and have an open dialogue and disagree without being disrespectful. Sure. Now, again, we're still doing a radio. I used to joke. I said, we're doing a radio show. We're not teaching a college class here. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some banter. But there was civility within it. And the relationships that I cultivated, especially with those on the other side, was something I was always very proud of with the show and everybody that worked on it. And there was many people that obviously worked in the program. Jack Beal, who yes. He was my producer for many years. Tyrone Keys, Steve Stoden, Ed Hale Jr., Ed Hale Sr. Yeah, a lot of people that were part of that apparatus that made the show as successful it was. And then the backing of WBAL to have the trust to say, hey, go. And look, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that we never disagreed on things. Okay, I mean that's just part of that business. It's not a cop out. You have creative differences. There's a difference in ideology. That's going to exist anywhere. But generally speaking, the ability to take an iconic 50,000 watt radio station and run with it, it's pretty cool, especially for a guy at the time that had absolutely no experience, at least behind the mic.
So you just kind of touched on where I was getting ready to go. So you didn't have any experience. You didn't go to school for broadcasting per se.
No, what had happened, and I know you wanted to talk about the world record with the flight, so we'll get into that later. But when I came out of the flight, the flight received a ton of national media coverage. So I had my proverbial 15 minutes, and not from an ego standpoint, but got my 15 minutes of fame, and I fell in love with the media. I became fascinated by it, and I was 16 at the time. And after I landed, I went around and I tried to get a internship as a high school kid at every TV station in town, and none of them would take me because I wasn't in college at the time. And I ended up working for a video arcade. It's no longer there, but it was out in Cockeysville. And my manager had a connection at Channel 45, and he liked my work ethic at the video arcade, and he put me in contact. And I started out as an unpaid intern at Channel 45, and that led to a part-time job and to eventually a full-time job at 45, which was some of the best days of my life. Also, I mean, just getting into and the excitement of working at a news station as a kid. And just great. Scott Livingston, who's still there, was the chief photographer. One of the best in the nation at what he does. I got to learn under not only his guidance, but the whole, talking from a photography standpoint, The second year I started there, they were Station of the Year for National Press Photographers Association, which is kind of like the Cadillac standard
Hmm.
of what we do. And with being in the business for 3 years, I won my first Emmy, which was at Channel 45,
Wow.
and then they drafted me at WBAL TV, and was lucky to win an Emmy there. And the management team went from there to a station in DC, and then I was kind of off to the races. So it was on the job training, but
Sure, that's
it
exactly
was
what it was.
right. And look, I always said, one of the great things with college is you get the internships, and I was able to kind of leapfrog on that. But it was a lot of hard work and a lot of unpaid hours for a
Mhm.
long time, and a lot of luck, and things kind of fell into place on it. But it's been a good career over the last 25 years.
Well, I'll say this, and yes, it has, but I never knew that you worked for Channel 45, for Fox 45.
Hmm.
Like that,
Yep.
that I'm listening to you speak.
Yeah.
That is new information to me. So, you moved around the industry for a little while. I mean,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's what's created your whole story, your whole history of being into broadcast radio and television for that matter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and just as life went on, and you start stacking chips with life experiences, it starts to open up opportunities. And one of the other great ones I had was co-hosting television, a sports TV show with LeVar Arrington
oh,
in Washington D.C. And I started out actually directing that, and then LeVar and I ended up co-hosting it, and that led to just a ton of incredible opportunities. I got to go fishing in the White Marlin Open, got to actually go flying with the Blue Angels. I drove a NASCAR down at Dover, so there were a lot of cool things. But all of that was sort of accumulation of all the hours that you worked for free at Channel 45. And really, if you follow
yeah,
it far enough down the trough, it was unclogging baseballs at the video arcade. I mean, that's what set the stage for all this stuff. And it's not to get too off point here, Derek. But
no, go ahead.
it's part of the problem I have um, with the minimum wage conversation.
Mhm.
Obviously, you have to have a living wage. I totally understand that. But if you look at normally the way it works, okay, you get out of high school, or you're still in high school, and you get that first job, and you learn how to handle money, and the value of the life experiences of dealing with your first boss that's a jerk, or your coworkers that are a jerk, and just the accountability of coming in and doing your job. Um, and that's the problem with people that aren't getting those jobs. And look, I loved my job at the video arcade. I mean, for a kid, I mean, a video arcade is a pretty good gig. But
Oh
but
yeah,
that, yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, yeah, and it was fun, Derek. But I mean, but that was by going in there and taking that job serious. I was able to get my manager there was the one that vouched for me at Channel 45. So without the minimum wage sports job, I never would have gotten my first TV opportunity, which ironically enough paid less than the sports gig day because it was an unpaid internship.
So let me ask you this: to be in the industry, if I'm aspiring, and I was at WCVM for a
Hmm.
while. Did some shows there for almost a year, but it's not quite what people think it is. So
That's right.
uh, so in this conversation already, you've already mentioned kind of well, it wasn't paying much, and they kind of just is more reimbursement for all the
Right.
time that I was there. So is that industry, that radio industry, is it lucrative? Can it be lucrative for people, or is it something that you really gotta maybe have a fallback to, or something that you might just
Yeah.
want to experience and then move on in life from?
A joke I've always used in radio is, first of all, we could go on for literally months. I could talk months about the future of broadcast media on radio and TV and where it's going and all that. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, and this is mainly for radio, but it applies for both. My joke is nobody makes good money in radio.
Okay.
Either you're poor or you're making $100 million a year and you're doing a Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh or Howard Stern. Or, you have, it's like just these massive pendulums. I will
Mhm.
say, for the most part, the people that are in that business, and you know this from your time at CBM, they really enjoy doing it, and it's a
Yeah.
passion and it's
Yeah.
a calling. And look, I'm not not going to sugarcoat it. It's cool. It's a cool thing to talk
It's
about.
pretty
People
cool.
find it interesting, right?
It's pretty cool.
It is cool. I mean, and that was one of the things that I really enjoyed and always valued, especially at BAL, was you build relationships with the audience that are very real, and you don't understand how deep these relationships are, and especially with what I was going through at the time with Ron. I mean, you're talking about somebody that had real love from his audience. I mean, Ron Smith was the biggest titan this town will ever see, and to you know be with his
I'll never
audience.
forget Ron's voice. Ron
Uh,
had that voice. I know.
we'll talk about an independent thinker, and again, comes back to BAL. Ron was against the Iraqi war before everybody was against the Iraqi war. Like, we all have short memories. Everybody remembers being against it. Most people were for it in the very beginning, and Ron lost like 60% of his audience for coming out of the gate and being against that. In most broadcast radio stations, you lose 60% of your audience, which means you're losing probably 60% of your ad revenue. You normally don't stick around. But that's why his audience, because they trusted him, and even though they didn't agree with him on it, they knew that he wasn't just saying what needed to be said to stay on the air. And it comes down to one word, Derek, which is credibility. But when all that happened, and I started to go to events and do speeches and start to meet people in person, one on one, you realize like how real these relationships are. I mean, I'll give you a real quick example. I bought I love boating, and over the years I've had them and I haven't, but I got back into it. This was probably about 3 years ago, and the marina where my boat's in. My neighbor comes over and is docked next to me, introduces himself, and we're just talking. Sorry, apologize.
You're fine. You're fine. You're a busy guy. This is a live show.
Sorry about that.
That's live shows.
And he recognized the voice, and he was a regular listener, and he's going back on these stories of things that had happened on the show. I mean, 5-7 years ago. And he knew all the stories, and he's bringing up different little bits we did and guests and various live locations and that we took the show on. And it just shows how much of an impact some of these people have on on the listeners' lives, and how impactful the words can be.
Yeah, you've seen it, you've heard it more than once.
Yeah.
People can get terminated by inclination of a thought. I mean, you can just say you say something that might the your employers think might have been inappropriate, and then all of a
Right.
sudden we know this has happened recently, and that individual actually got a job elsewhere. I think
Right.
young lady, we know who we're speaking of, without saying any names, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, somebody else picks you up like, hey, look, we understand what's going, what happened to you that was unfair, unjust, and here we are, we're going to offer you a job, and now that same individual is still doing pretty good over at her new
Sure.
station. So
No, absolutely. Look, I've always said you gotta, especially when you're doing radio, and I do know who you're talking about, but when you're doing radio, and you're doing a talk show where you have guests and you're doing this, but you also have long 17-20 minute segments where you're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
You talk for 3 hours at a time, okay? Eventually, and you're talking to tens of thousands of people. Odds are you're going to say something that somebody's going to take out of context, and that's why with all this stuff these days, I think as a reasonable person, I just wish everybody would take a step back and look at the intent of things. And you can tell when somebody is saying something that is hurtful and their goal is to, disrupt it. And you can also tell when something is either inadvertently said or is being completely pulled out of context. I'll give you a real quick example.
Sure.
During Obamacare, when it was being pushed through, there was a famous soundbite from Nancy Pelosi. Obviously, you can probably imagine I did not agree with a lot of Nancy Pelosi's politics. All right, she made a remark: "We have to pass the bill to see what is in it." You remember that remark?
I don't.
Okay, it was and everybody clipped it out. Okay, and if you remember, the Affordable Care Act was this monstrous thing. It went to the Supreme Court. No,
Obamacare.
yeah, Obamacare. Nobody knew if it was going to happen or not. And it was, at the time, it was the largest piece of legislation to ever be passed in American history. And Nancy Pelosi said, we need to pass the bill to find out what's in it. What she meant by that. Okay, now the way that got portrayed, and I'm talking about like network elite people,
Mhm.
was, well, we're just going to pass it and then we'll find out how bad it is later in, and we're going to pass it without reading it. It's not what she meant. What she meant was we need to pass the House version so it can
Right.
go to the Senate, so the Senate can tear it up. And once we find out what the Senate's done, then it'll come back to the House. That's what she meant.
Right.
And it's like, and that's where I think if
Mhm.
you're going to intentionally manipulate somebody's words that you may not like, but you're going to do that to a mass audience, what you're really doing is you're killing your own credibility.
Yeah.
It's not the person that you're trying to frame, which is what it is. I mean, it's framing through words, um, and I think that's part of the
Yeah.
reason why the media has such the bad reputation that it does right now, and that was happening at a national level.
Hmm.
Um, that's very disingenuous for people that
Sure.
have audiences with sometimes tens of millions of people. Um, Not to get off point, but
No, I agree. I agree. No, I mean, I appreciate your openness and candidness about these things. I knew I was going to get that with you on this particular interview, and yeah, that was the whole point. I want the audience to hear these perspectives. A lot of times, everybody's associated with that. It could be associated with media, all
right,
gets the same rap, all
right,
the same reputation. Where that is not everybody. Certain people have done their due diligence. Some certain people are doing their jobs to make sure that they're representing the proper information after studying what's
right.
at every all of our disposal, if you seek it out. A lot, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I, I used to make the point all the time on my show. Now, again, and like the Speaker Pelosi comment would be a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I'm not a journalist. I'm a commentator. This show is an opinion-based show. Now, I try to base my opinions on fact, but by no means is it balanced. I mean, it's my opinion. I'm not a liberal. I'm a conservative. But I would always make the point when I'm giving my opinion to inform the audience that this is my opinion. I'm trying to base it on fact, but I'm not giving an unbiased presentation of the facts alone. And I think a lot of times there's just this crossover. A big part of the problem with this too is we don't live in a world that has 24 hours a day worth of news, but we have a lot of 24-hour news channels. I mean, you think about it, there's probably about a half hour's worth of news. So now you're getting into rehashing the news from an opinion commentary standpoint, and a lot of these networks are passing the opinion piece off as journalism.
Yeah,
These are different things.
very
And
different things. I
you know what I
agree.
mean? Now, again, if you're going to have a reasonable conversation, your opinion should be based in fact, but I think that's part of the reason why there's such a distrust right now with the media on both sides. I mean, we can both pick networks where you're like, that network is stumping for the left and that network is stumping for the right.
Hmm.
Um, Trump, I don't, with the whole fake news thing,
Yeah.
you can make a lot of arguments where he was correct on it. But when you're
Mhm.
constantly hearing that you can't trust a free press, and again, the press has brought a lot of this upon themselves. It's dangerous. I mean, there's a reason why freedom of the press is in the First Amendment of the Constitution. There's a
Mhm.
value to the press being able to hold policymakers and people accountable. But if there's no trust in the press, then they're not able to successfully do that job.
Well, it's such a fine line there, because trying to I don't know, trying to really get to the bottom of something, it appears to be tough. It's almost like it's easier if you're a part of the press to just go along with the constant theme, right? That
Sure.
everybody's saying. So you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna, it's gonna be one of those fully loaded questions, because I'm curious. Me personally, as somebody that knows you,
Hmm.
personally, you know, do you think, especially being a conservative thinking individual,
Hmm.
um, WBAL. I mean, what actually happened there? I mean, were you just tired of it there? Did you leave on your own accord? Or what? I'd love for you to just tell me.
I'll
Let
give
me
you the
know
honest answer right there.
what
Yeah,
happened there,
we
because
I
you know how I'm feeling about some of these
sure.
networks. But yeah.
At no, I'm not talking around the question. I'm giving you an honest answer to it. Okay. At no point did the state.
Oh, got you frozen there for a minute, Jimmy. Wow. I think I might. I think you're trying to come back. You still there? Yep, there it is. It unfroze. Hold on. Wow, it always strikes me as real strange when you ask a certain question, or something that is impactful, and then all of a sudden your camera freezes, your audio freezes. It's amazing. Uh, uh, while while we're waiting for you to become unfroze, there are there you're mildly coming back there. I'll wait for you to fully come back. Are there any? Are there truly any journalists left? All coverage is biased and manipulative, and that's from Bobby Carbos, and I have to agree with Bobby there. Um, yeah, so we're waiting for Jimmy to come back. His camera froze, but I do find that really strange, really strange, really strange that his camera froze right as he was getting ready to answer that particular question. So, but hey, you all out there, you can look at it however you want. Me personally, I don't watch the news as much as a lot of people do. I don't. I feel like yeah. All right. You're kind of back, but it looks like it froze on you again. Um, and hey, James, uh, this is amazing to me that you was about to go right into something significant, and then it freezes like that. Call me crazy.
Funny thing.
Yeah, I hear you laugh. You're still there, and it's trying to come back. Um, but yeah, it's still frozen.
That's
It's still
funny.
yeah, it is pretty funny. Like it's still trying to come back. I see you. Hey, it's trying. It's
It's
trying.
fine.
There
I
it is. There
feel
it is. Almost. So anyway, this is live. So this is what happens on live shows, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. You can ask Jimmy all about it. Um, he's very he's very familiar with technical difficulties. So, but while we're waiting for him to actually get back, so he can answer the question that I asked him, and get on to some of the other cool stuff that he has done. And I guess for me, I just for my audience, I want people to understand that um, be free thinkers. Looks like let me bring you in here, Jimmy. There you go.
all right. We're back.
Yeah, let me close this one out.
All right.
Hey,
I'm so,
there we go.
sorry about that. I think
Yeah,
that was.
it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, I'm not surprised at all. It's weird things like that happen. But you know, it, you can definitely go back to what you were going to say about that. And listen here. Before you even get going, I'm not asking you that question to. I don't want to hear anything on a downing any network of any sort. I just know that what mainstream media usually consists of, and it's ironic that this happens to people with a certain way of thinking and representation. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, look, okay. What I was saying with me departing WBAL, at no point did they ever tell me what my opinion should be or even what content I should cover. With that being said, there was a change in the kind of direction they were taking. They were going, I think, more where they were trying to play sort of all sides of the fence. It was nothing. I left on my own. We were just sort of growing apart. And I just didn't feel like the content that I was producing for them was really in harmony with the direction that they wanted to take the station. And it's like, people, it's not a cop out. There was a creative difference between us at the end. There just was, and there's not a right or wrong answer to it. And I always look. I said this in the very beginning. Nobody owes anybody the right to be on the air. I mean, that's a privilege, and the program director, along with the general manager. Okay, I mean, you see it in FM radio all the time. Okay, I mean, all of a sudden you'll have a country station that flips to R&B, or I
Mhm.
mean, you change formats, you change styles, you change demographics that you're gonna target. Um, I will say there was a term that was used an awful lot on when needing to widen the tent, and I never fully understood what that meant because I felt like our audience was incredibly diverse, and I don't just mean diverse in race or men, women, but very diverse in Republican and Democrat. I really felt like it was kind of an open forum for everything. Now, again, the show was built on constitutional conservatism. I mean, that was the way I structured the show, and I don't think the show or my show would have been as good as it was if I ran it any other way. So, no hard feelings there, and they gave me an amazing 13 years, and I hope to be back at WBAL one day. And when I left, I also wanted to run for state senate, and obviously I can't be employed by a media outlet when I was doing that. So that also at the time tied into that decision. Um, but I mean, it was nothing nasty at the end. And again, I mean, it wasn't just giving me the airtime. I mean, there was a lot of promotion, a lot of cross promotion. Gave me the opportunity to do commentaries on the newscast. A lot of crossover with C4 and Derek Hunter being guests on those shows. I love horse racing. When I wanted to do the show from the Kentucky Derby, it was go. We did it from the Polar Bear Plunge. We did it from the Baltimore Marathon. So, at the end of the day, not a bad thing to say, but it was just kind of grew apart on a content direction. That's all, and not the first talk show host to have that happen. And here's the
Nope.
thing, man.
That's
If you
the
can't
last.
if you can't handle that part of the business, you're in the wrong business.
Right.
You know, I
I
mean,
agree.
yeah, I mean,
I agree. It was
but,
kind of one of the reasons, that I decided to leave WCVM. I mean,
yeah,
just certain couple little things just kind of started happening, and you know, uh, like you said, sometimes you gotta make a decision, and it's a business decision, really. Where
sure,
you're like, what do you want to do? How you want to carry it? Would this be the best move for everybody to press forward? Um, my show was doing pretty good. I had a late night show, but I was actually number one at that time slot, even beating out the likes of like a 98 Rock, heck, even WBL at that
yeah,
hour. I remember looking, what do they call it? I forget what it was called now, but looking at my stat reports for that time, I would get my I guess not agent, but you know what I'm saying. My rep,
yeah,
my rep,
hmm
rep, Howard Sharp would give me my reports,
yeah,
and I would be like, "Oh, I'm competing." You would see it clearly. Oh
mhm,
man, I'm competing with some of the top notch FM stations. It's like Jesus Christ, that's pretty good to be an AM broadband show, a late night show. So
yeah.
you know,
Well, we were doing the same. I mean, we were killing. And a lot of times, they'll break it down into specific demos. It'll be men 1835 or whatever. I mean, but we were number one in general cume across the board for a
yeah,
long
the
period of
cume,
time.
the cume. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking
So,
for.
but yeah, I mean, and how much work it takes to put into it, and the definition of a successful radio show is when you come on and you do it, and it comes across like you're just getting on there and talking, and it's like you're just hanging out at the bar, just holding court, and that is not what it is. I mean, the easiest part of the show was the 3 hours that we actually did the show. I prepped for that show. I'm not exact. I mean, I worked 8 hours a day, 7 days a week on that 3 hour show. So,
Yeah, and
you know,
You had Jackie with you.
and I
Help.
had Jack, and yeah, and then the board ops and
Just
the
trying to get it together.
promotionals. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot more to that apparatus than people think it is.
Yeah, and I want to just what long time this faithful audience member, Bobby Carbos. Also, just a gentleman. I have to give him a shout out. This is him on the screen now.
Hmm.
Always watches the show faithfully. If he can, if this show comes on, he's there. And
Right.
he was actually, he messaged me during the week knowing that you were going to come on. And this is a former state trooper. This
Hmm.
this guy did I forget how many years, but several years.
Right.
A couple decades worth of service for his state and country per se. So I'd love to shout him out. He always comments. We were talking about the news and the media, and he said, Derek, I look at the news like the metal, like the metal plate on an old poker game in a bar for
Or
amusement
using
only.
it.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it. I wish I wasn't. I'm not necessarily a cynic. I'm not a cynic at all. I'm not. I
Right.
wouldn't consider, Jimmy. I wouldn't consider myself a cynic. It's just that I'm not easily deceived.
Hmm.
I don't want to feel like I'm following a flock everywhere I go.
Right.
It's like, oh, I believe that. I believe this only strictly because I'm seeing it on the news or somebody's telling me to believe that. I feel as though I'm in touch with what's happening around me. Maybe not as much as some, or people who
Right.
really study certain avenues of really where sources are coming from.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm not putting myself up there with the likes of those people, but it's like a natural feeling that that overcomes you when it's something that matters. I wish I studied a little bit more to what really happens, like people like yourself, which
Right.
is actually, I think, a good segue for us to talk about, why you would want to get into politics. I mean, you ran against Dutch, and it's like, what is your goal? I mean, do you still plan on trying to fulfill a seat in Congress per se, or in the Senate or what have you?
You can understand when I ran against Dutch, I didn't have a radio show at the time. I was not expecting to beat Dutch Rupersberger. Okay, as a no name person at the time with no money and no political experience, I just wanted to do it for the life experience, and just to kind of do it, and it was great because that's what led to the radio show. I mean, without that failed election, the whole BAL thing doesn't happen. Um, with that being said, I would not run for U.S. Congress or U.S. Senate or governor or anything like that right now because I wouldn't run an election that I can't win. I mean, I'm not at that point in my life right now. With that being said, I have until February 22nd to make a decision if I'm going to run for state Senate again. And I will tell you, I am heavily weighing those options. And as you mentioned, I'm not on the radio right now, so I don't have that concern. And
Yeah.
that weighed on me very much because I knew I had to walk away from that to do the state senate run. So I'm leaning. I've got got to make the decision obviously in the next couple of days here. But I'm weighing very heavily on running for state senate. And to answer your question on what do I hope to accomplish with that,
Yeah.
it's the way you eat an elephant. Okay, it's one bite at a time. And what I don't think because I win a state senate seat, I'm going to go and change the state of Maryland around in one term. But what I do think I could do is bring some of the skills that I had on the radio show and just trying to be kind of a little bit of a voice.
Oh my goodness. We got the freeze frame again on you there, Mr. Mathis. Um, but while we wait for your camera to adjust, I do want to. Oh, I think you're back. Hold on. Are you back? Almost back. And if you can hear me still, tell me where you're broadcasting from too, because wherever you're broadcasting from probably has a little bit to do, or vice versa, with the, the faulty connection. But when you get back here, which you will, um, yeah, I'm curious to know where you're broadcasting from, because I don't know where you live anymore. I know Jackville, he's right up the street. We're basically neighbors here in Dundalk. So, but yeah, so yeah, like yeah, go. He needs to go for it, right? Go for it. Linnea, good buddy of mine, also another colleague, says go for it, man. And I agree. It's just you need fresh people in their in office to see what these people can also do to help make towards change. I mean, you know, I have I think this is you back here. There you go. You're back.
All right.
Um, yeah, you're
I
back. Go ahead.
apologize to anybody watching this. I know how annoying that is. I apologize.
Is oh, don't worry about that, bro. Like I said, these live shows. I don't. The audience is growing as the show can carries on. So if you remember where you left off at,
Well, no,
um,
I mean, just I would hope that if I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to win a state senate position, obviously be a consistent vote that mirrors we do live in a representative republic. And last time I checked, and to be a voice that's consistent with what the people want, and hopefully statewide to be a voice for the party on articulating what our message is, because other than Governor Hogan, there really isn't a voice in the party right now. There's really not. Um, so I think I could kind of be a hybrid of a state senator and also somewhat a spokesperson of what we want to do, because I think that's very much needed. And again, is one person with one vote in the state legislature going to make a change overnight? Absolutely not. But I do think that there needs to be accountability to those that we put in power, and I'm just not seeing it right now. Generally speaking, I mean, there's some lone voices out there, but they're few and far in between.
yeah. Let me ask you this, because I know some of my audience members are probably looking, and I know there's probably a split side of the fence. There you have your proverbial fence, and you know, some of us fall here, some of us fall there, right? In our
Hmm.
belief system. But as a conservative, as you are, do you how do you feel you would represent um, the liberal thinking people? Because to me, you have an understanding of what as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's my
Right.
opinion. As,
Hmm.
an understanding of what everybody essentially wants. So do you think do you think we're putting too much in one basket on these names, these titles? Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree, because I
Absolutely.
can't say that that's how I think. I'm some kind of strong far right winger. I can't say that. Where would you put yourself at
Well,
in
this
that
comes
proverbial?
back to the biggest problem I have with my own party is we don't articulate what a conservative is, and we let people in the war of rhetoric frame that for us, and the
Mhm.
Republicans do it to the left too. Okay, I remember I had a conversation with somebody at the station on if I'm too conservative, and I said maybe I am. I go, walk me through what part am I going too far on? Okay, is it the individual liberty? Is it the ability to own property? Is it unreasonable regulations? Is it is it the federal government
Mm. Lost you, lost you,
through?
lost you again. Hey, if you can hear me,
There's
which I
so
know
much
you can,
time.
go ahead. You're there. You're there.
Yeah, yeah. There's from one
Breaking
another.
up.
Okay,
You're probably going to have to
and I
start over a little bit. Can you hear me, Jimmy? You're
get
probably going to have to start over a little bit.
no,
You're breaking up again, my friend. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah,
Let's see
yeah.
if that
Just
helps.
that's all right. Rewind that, because it seems like everybody's really interested in what you're talking about right now, and then all of a sudden it starts to break up on you. Uh, let's see here. So
I,
even if I like it's just some good comments coming in. I can't wait for you to
no, that's
actually get back. Okay, I think
am I
you're.
back?
There you go. You're there now. Yep, you're
It's
back.
the liberal.
Go ahead.
It's the
What
it's
you would
the
say?
it's the liberal media shutting me down here. That's what it is. No, I think we need to get. We've become so divisive. It's everything. It's the rich and the poor, straight, gay, men, women. What it is to be an immigrant, an illegal immigrant. I mean, the country has become so divided, and not only is it sad, but it's incredibly dangerous. And I think it's also unwarranted. It doesn't mean that depending on what walk of life you come from, we don't bring different life experiences um, to the table. But I think generally speaking, whatever your political ideology is, most people want to go make a living, put a roof over their head, have good schools for their children, the ability to own a home if you want to, enough money for a vacation or two a year, a little bit of money for whatever your vice is in the world, and to be left somewhat alone. I mean, I think that's kind of what most people want, and that's not unique to, again, whatever the pigmentation of your skin is, or your genitalia, or your heritage, or any of these things. But again, with the noise, we keep getting drawn into these corners, and meanwhile, the things that collectively we all want, we're all losing.
Yeah,
We really are.
everybody.
And they are. And look, man, I mean, some are fending better than others, but generally speaking, we're kind of all in this boat together. And collectively, we're seeing a evisceration of civil liberties. We're seeing, I'm not just talking recently with the supply chain issues, but we're seeing, inflation. We're seeing stagnant wages. We're seeing home ownership is unattainable for many, many Americans, as is higher education. Forget the complete evisceration of, K through 12 education. I mean, there's a lot to be done here. And the more divided we become and self-segregated we become from one another, we're losing what the definition of a country is. We really are. I mean, we right now, I mean, if this country were a marriage, okay, we would have gone our separate ways a long time ago. I mean, we can't agree on anything right now. I mean, anything. And that's manufactured. And that's sad, because I believe most human beings want the same thing. And, how we get there, look, I just a thing on the radio, okay? I mean, yeah, it was a conservative show. I got somebody that has a progressive ideology. I don't think they're stupid or they're an idiot. I mean, we have a disagreement on the best way to achieve a common goal. And no, I don't believe unchecked large government is the answer. I don't. No, we can debate that, but just because somebody may believe that, I'm not going to, self-segregate into two separate corners from that person. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we still generally want the same thing. Look, I mean, this was an issue I've always had with the Republican Party not doing more of an aggressive outreach to the minority community. Has nothing to do with racism. Okay, it just comes down to, when you're putting together a campaign, you only have so much time and resources, so you focus on where you believe you can acquire votes. And because the Republicans buy into the rhetoric, they just believe that these certain segments of the population aren't going to be receptive to the message.
Yeah.
It's simply not true. If you think about it, especially in the minority community, if you look at what the Republican Party for the most part stands for, in total harmony, the only place that you start to lose a little bit is on graduated income tax, on progressive taxation. But beyond that, I mean, but you have to go and ask for the order. And look, Larry Hogan's a perfect example. He did that during his first term. He was in the city. He got 22% of the black vote in Baltimore City.
I know.
I mean, who would have thought that? But you got to.
As a conservative, I know.
Right. But you got to do the groundwork. You're not going to do that over, a Facebook post or running a radio or TV ad. You got to go in and make the pitch and build that trust in those relationships, and then you're going to be held accountable on the back end of it.
Well, let me ask you this, since we are having this conversation, and I do like to ask the straightforward questions. I mean, that's what brings the intrigue to a show, and an audience, they're wondering too. I mean, especially from your standpoint. I mean, Governor Hogan personally.
Mm-hmm.
I've met him a couple times myself. I mean, what kind of job do you think the gentleman is doing, has done since he's been in office here?
I think he's done fine. My biggest gripe with the governor is I've seen a missed opportunity from the very beginning with him on kind of being a quarterback for the party. He's definitely delivered on what he ran on as far as being a checks and balances. against a pretty far left state legislature. And he has rung in some taxes, and he's been a stopgap, and I'll give him credit for that. But the fact that after 8 years of a Republican governor who has, I mean, insane approval ratings, I mean, for him to be at almost the end of his term, and the guy's still polling in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the minority party is insane. I mean, it's an amazing accomplishment.
Unheard of. Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, the Republicans don't have a legitimate replacement on the bench right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no real other excitement or name other than him. And I think, after 8 years, there could have been more of a work to kind of cultivate, the bench for the Republican Party. And it seems like, and I'm not speaking ill of the governor. I know him very well, and I think he's delivered on most of what he ran for, but he's operated a little bit in a cocoon, and it seems like he's really focused, especially over the last the second term here, mm-hmm. To focus on himself and having that national name recognition. And I know he has other aspirations, and he
maybe
sees
the president of the United States possibly in the future. Running?
I think running it's in the future. I don't see. I personally don't see it. Look, I mean, I could be totally wrong on that, Derek. I mean, he's checked off the boxes that he needs to do. Okay, I mean, he was, head of the National Governors Association. He's got the national exposure on Meet or all the talking head shows on the weekend. He
Shucks, lost you again, Jimmy.
%. So I don't know. We'll see. I personally, I don't see it in the cards for him, but again, he's got the correct boxes checked off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that. I said I really thought Martin O'Malley had a shot to be in the hunt.
Yeah, it was something about. I know some people really. He toward the end there, he started getting a pretty bad rap, but there was a time I really liked O'Malley. I mean, it just was, I don't know. It was just something about him. He just really seemed like a nice guy. I just thought he had a really good glow to him. I thought he cared about the state of Maryland and all his suburbs and outskirts. And so I think people downplay, or I'm not sure if people really understand how tough it is to do these jobs. That's me. I get some flack from certain people here and there about some of our elected officials. Johnny O. I mean, I know him personally. I brought him to the studio at WCVM. Mm-hmm. He sat across from me, and as much as everybody might, certain people like to beat him down, I don't feel that way about the guy. Now, I mean, maybe that's me because everybody else has studied so much. They studied his dad, and they study him, and they have a lot to say about the guy. But me, it's still something about the human being to me that, I refuse to believe that certain people, if you ran, and I know you, I'm not going to feel that James Mathis has bad intentions. You know what I mean? Right. I don't care how many times somebody's trying to paint you out. Well, Jimmy did this and Jimmy did that and Jimmy said this. Right. I know that because I know you, that you're trying. It's not one person making all these decisions. It's a group of people that have to agree upon decisions, and people don't really understand that. It's like, so they blame one. It's almost like in football and the NFL, or almost any level of the sport. Who gets blamed for everything that goes wrong? The head coach. The head coach. So,
and that's the first one to get. That's the first one to get fired.
Get fired. Right. So, I mean, how do you feel about what I just said? I mean, and just be honest, because I know you know these people as well. I mean,
no, I agree. Look, I agree with you. Okay, and I mean, because of the show, I've gotten to know almost all of them. I mean, very well individually. I think when it comes to politics, I mean, first of all, let's not kid each other here. Okay, if you're going to get into that, you have a little bit of a. I don't mean this in a bad way, but a little bit of an ego and an alpha personality. I mean, you don't run for politics if you're an introvert, generally speaking.
Right. Sure.
I think there is part of a machine to it. I think most people generally, you start at a small local level because you see something in your community that you want to fix, whatever the issue is. It really doesn't matter. And then, God forbid, you win. Now you gotta play along to get done what you wanted to get done, whether that's sitting on a
Right.
committee or picking up votes or whatever you're doing. And as you travel down that road, you slowly start to sell small pieces of your soul to achieve what you believe is the common good. And you blink your eyes, and next thing you know, you're part of the problem that you were running against in the very beginning. Um, and I mean,
Summed up really well. You summed up that up really well in a matter of a couple words. Yes, indeed. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
we'll be
But
right back.
we'll be right back after that brief message. You summed that up brilliantly, and carry on. I don't want to stop your momentum there. That
Well,
was perfect. Mm.
I'll tell you what. I know we've been going for a while. Why don't we save the airplane story for the next time?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
but
know. Yeah, we will. I mean, oh my god! And this is what I was afraid of. I actually wanted to bring that up sooner, but we're going to save it because I want to bring you back. I say we've been on for an hour already. So
yeah,
yeah. So I'll go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead.
just say this in closing. Out of I've gotten to know Kurt Schmoke pretty well over the years, but that was after he was done with politics and his time over at University of Baltimore. I got to know Sheila Dixon and Catherine Pugh both very, very well. And again, I'm not agreeing with a lot of their politics because we're of a different political ideology. But I will say this: as executives in their cities, they had a true love for the city. They both did. And again, if you're going to start playing at those levels, people can pick you apart for a million different reasons. But I do think that a lot of the people serving, they're all human. But I think a lot of them do want to do the right thing, and they do care about the community. And that doesn't apply to everybody, Derek. But I think it's very dangerous whenever you lump when you lump everybody into one group and then you paint with a broad brush. And you see that with politicians, and then you saw it with police, for example. And you got to be careful not to label people in masses because it's I think it's a dangerous way to treat your fellow human being.
I agree with you there, and it's funny, to the audience because for some reason this show just like it gains momentum as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
People start chiming in, but I I agree with you because I don't want to rush your world record. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this man has a world record, but I'm going to save it because I'm about to get into a strand, let's say, of semi-continuous shows. I'll have an off show here or there,
Yeah.
but of bringing in people like yourself, people who are really connected to the state of Maryland, okay, that really knows what's going on, really close the to what's happening and have actually ideas and plans towards making things better. I even spoke with Johnny Ray Sally just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about a month ago. He agreed to come on the show and as well. So um, I just want to hear everybody's take on things. I want to give everybody an opportunity to just at least tell my audience, which is really everybody's audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of what their game plans are and what they want to do to help Maryland, help the counties, the neighboring counties, help Baltimore City to become a better place because it seems like there's room for improvement, right? I mean,
Oh,
would you agree with that? I mean,
absolutely. This was I heard it from Ron Smith. I don't know if it's an original or if he was lifting it from somewhere, but it's always stuck with me. And it ties into free speech, which we talk about almost daily these days. The only speech you should worry about protecting is the speech that you don't agree with, and it's very true. And especially in this culture society that we live in, and where everybody gets upset and offended, and the shutdown of dialogue because you don't want to hear. Again, that doesn't give people the ability to go around and be disrespectful and to say offensive things. That's not what I'm talking about. But the speech you need to worry about defending is the speech that you don't want to hear or you may not agree with, because what goes around comes around on that. And you don't want to get to a point in a society where you can't have dialogue or disagreement or debate with your fellow citizen, because that's not a healthy way to live.
And I agree 100%. But before I let you go, what's going on in your world now? What is there anything that you just like the audience to know, to just to keep track of the things that's going on, and maybe something that you're doing that they might be interested in? Because when I called you, I can't really make out what your voice message says, but you actually do something else as well, for a living these days.
Well, I've been doing real estate for the last 3 years. So I work with the with the Bob Alcedo team with Keller Williams. So if
Okay.
if anything you need real estate wise, and it ties into what a big thing of mine on the radio is property rights. So
Yeah.
anything I can do to help anybody from a real estate standpoint. And I've been spending a lot of time right now contemplating what I do leading into February 22nd.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, and I love how you listen. What is that?
the
That's
clock the
20.
clock
It's
is ticking.
20. It's 20 days. You have an official 20 days as of right now to make that decision. And if you've read the strands, you can go back and watch the show later.
Yeah,
But
and I will.
there's people out there that will support you, my friend.
Yeah.
Hold on, Bobby. Just wants. Let me just let because Bobby's my guy. He said thanks, Derek and
Oh,
Jimmy.
thank you, Bobby. I
Great
see
show.
it. Thank
Really,
you very much.
really,
Thank you,
really,
my friend.
really
And
enjoyed.
thank you for your service, Bobby. Thank you. And also when we do the flying show, and that is a whole show on that. But
Yeah,
I had
it's a whole
something,
show.
yeah. But I had something I was working on for the anniversary of that I was trying to do last year that got all messed up because of the COVID
Let's do it here.
snafu. So you'll be the first one I'll talk to about it
Thank you. Thank
when
you.
we come
Thank
back. So. Derek, thank you so much, my friend. We've been talking about this for a while. I apologize, everybody, for the internet thing. I'll make sure I'm
you. It's
plugged in
okay.
next time.
It's
But it was
okay.
it was a real honor, my friend. Seriously.
Thank you, and appreciate your time. I will reach out to you this
Yeah,
week. Try to
seriously.
set a date because we need to come back with that show. We got everybody salivating, got their mouths watered about it. So I'm gonna bring you back sooner than later. All right, Jimmy.
Done, done, my
I
friend.
appreciate
Absolutely.
you. You have a good rest of your week and a good night.
You
And
too.
look for my phone call soon.
We'll do, buddy. And thank you, everybody, for watching. See you, my friend.
Good
Bye.
night, Jimmy. Thank
Good
you.
night. Good
Good
night.
night. So there you have it, Jimmy Mathis, aka James Mathis. You heard a good portion of his story, but there's so much more. I'm not even going to flash some of the content I had ready for tonight's show to show you all. So we're gonna hold off on that. I'll save that content. Um, don't cheat either, y'all. I know how y'all are. You Googlers out there. I mean, it's all online what this gentleman did. Yes, he does hold a world record that I don't think has been broken. And we were going to talk about that, but that's a whole separate show. So we're going to, save that for the next time I bring Jimmy on. And that hour went by so quick. I mean, even for me, I'm usually like, oh my God, the show's taking forever or whatever. But it just flew by. It felt like half an hour. So just another great show. I just, just big shouts out to just the people who just continue to support and watch this show. I'm very grateful to all of you. Buzzacino coming in from YouTube, YouTube land. He's usually as he comes in, he's giving his good words. He must be a poet or philosopher. I tell you, Buzzacino, thanks for watching the show. Um, and really appreciate you taking the time out from wherever you're at. I forget you told me. I know it's somewhere across the Atlantic on that side, so I appreciate you watching the show um, and continue to do so. Appreciate you again from I don't know what time it is wherever you're at, but just for you doing that, that means something to me. So I appreciate that. Of course, as always, Bobby Carbos always adding that insight from a perspective that not many come from, having served his country, his community for many years. It takes a lot to do that. Those that go fight overseas, those that put their lives on the line, those first responders. I do want to say rest in peace to the firefighters that lost their lives here recently, and everybody who's lost someone close to them. I continue to lose loved ones. Kobe Boyd, 20 years old. Lost him recently, so rest easy, young fella. I love you, always will. I'll continue to talk to you like you continue to talk to me, so I appreciate you. Your family is in good hands. So, uh, and I know these things happen, but it doesn't make it easy at all, ever to have to deal with it. We're always left here to deal with those that have moved on. So it's difficult on us that remain here as well. So, Linnea Jordan, thanks so much for even tuning in. I know you had a show yourself tonight. I'm going to check that out soon here to see how your interview went. I did share it on my page, so I know that was a probably a pretty awesome show. You always do really, really good in your interviews, so I can't wait to see that. Big shouts out to everything that we're doing. Really excited about all the content, all the movies. You got plays coming up. Torn will be premiering at the Horizon Theater Saturday. So get ready for that. Matter of fact, I might even have a poster. So look out for Torn, you all. It's coming up soon. This Saturday at the Horizon. I don't have the address right in front of me, but it's easy to find. It's right there off of Bel Air Road. As soon as you get off of the Office 695, it's right there, right there. I mean, right in the shopping center. There's a what is it? Not a Carrabba's. What's right there? Jeez, I forgot what the name of that restaurant is. Right there in the shopping plaza, but it's the Horizon Theater. Um, Easy to find. That's all right. Like I said, good thing we got Google out there. All you got to do is Google it, and you'll get to see the actual address to the Horizon Theater. Okay. Okay, comments are still rolling in. What do we have here? Buzzachino, uh, what are you saying there, brother? I'm going to read one of these, Buzz. When we feel the love for those we've lost, we remember the love they had for us and know they want us to be happy. Live with love. And like a true poet, man, I swear to goodness, I think you're a philosopher, my friend, and thank you for that. I needed that because, sometimes, I don't know, people think, I don't know what they think really because I don't ask them all the time, but I feel pain too. It's just, I have a different take on the passings of people because I don't believe in death. I believe energy survives forever, and you cannot rid uh, the natural plane of existence from this energy. So it surfaces around all the time, just like my father is here with me now. You know, my grandmother is here with me now. A lot of the close people that were in my life, my uncle, people who have recently passed physically are still here. So always remember that. And I think Buzzachino said it the best right there. And I'll put that up one more time so you guys can just understand how important what he types there, how important that really is for all of us. Okay. So thanks again for that, Buzzachino. Um, but yeah, just back to some of what I'm talking about. These premieres we're working on a couple movies. Running Lost is another one that is uh, it's in the editing suite right now. Running Lost is done. The filming of Running Lost is complete, ladies and gentlemen, and we are excited to showcase that as a final production in film format, in which it will be uh, showed off in theaters here soon. And this was one of the social media flyers we did for it, and of course we actually enhanced all of that stuff to where you have official flyers made, not flyers but posters have been made. So this awesome, all this pure awesomeness, going on across the board. Everything Matters is the next short film that we're going to be doing. So get ready for that. We delve right into Everything Matters now, um, and get ready for that. It's a unique story in itself. More information will come up about that, and you'll start seeing the trailers. We're getting ready to start the rehearsals. So it's forward progress, forward motion at all times. There's pretty much no real breaks in my life and some of the people I'm involved with and associated with. Also, big shouts out to Star City too. I want to give a shout out to Angel Storm, Wizzy, Midget, everybody. Star City is also a production company that I'm heavily involved with, so I'm excited to work on the Mercedes project, which is the next thing in order at Star City. So we've casted a lot of good people for that as well. So once again, it's a nonstop forward go ahead motion to get things done here. And I'm not going to keep you guys much longer, but the comments seem to keep coming in. And thank you, Bobby Carbos. Bobby Carbos is my guy. He is still tuned in, locked in, and loaded to assist his comrade when his comrade is struggling. So there you have it. Horizon is the Beltway Cinemas, 7660 Bel Air Road in Baltimore, of course. And the time is 3:30 p.m. Look at that, but Bobby. What would I do without you, Bobby? What would I do without you, sir? So, thank you again for that, Bobby. That's really cool, and I'll keep that up there for a little bit. So, once again, this is where we're going to be premiering Torn, which is happening um, Saturday at that time, 3:30. Okay, um, and back to back short films they're going to be showcased in the same at the same time frame. So when Running Lost comes on, while you're in the theater for that showing, as soon as it ends, Everything Matters will come on. So it'll give you that feel. You'll get to feel whatever. I don't know. However these movies impact you, you'll feel that, right? And then you'll get a quick little intermission, which won't last long because it follows it right back up, and then you'll transition into a whole new feel for the next project that comes up, which is going to be Everything Matters, and that's a project about bullying. So that's gonna be fun. And yeah, and by the way, Torn is sold out. So I forgot. I'm sorry. I don't think we're selling tickets at the door. Torn is sold out. Thanks, Linnea, for the reminder. Hold on, here we go. Billy Bob, hey, what's going on? Billy Bob says, "What's up, y'all?" Coming in from YouTube land. But again, there you go. Torn sold out. Can they come and just hang out front and be part of the red carpet, Linnea? I mean, they could still come up and be like, "Hey, give us support." Make the parking lot look packed. Come on up. Just I don't know if you really want to come up and be like, "Can I get a ticket?" Well, we're kind of sold out. I don't know, but I'm glad. I'm glad that she reminded me of that. So the Torn premiere sold out, but she says, of course, you all can come up and just support. So yeah, come on up, say what's up, man. You meet the cast. I mean, the people are going to be there, so um, hey, you save yourself a couple bucks too. You can hear how great it was, and kind of maybe watch it when it's on Netflix or something, when it come online. I don't know. I'm just being optimistic here. Um, but you say it's free, it's free, it's free, it's free. Yeah, that's right. We're not charging at the door. We're not charging for that. Well, it's really for the cast. It's something that Lene is doing for the cast, and I believe it's just strictly for the cast, really, if I remember correctly, because of all their hard work and all. I don't know. Forget if you invited a couple. If they were allowed to bring some of their friends and family, but the after party. Okay, don't forget about you. Yeah, what am I thinking? Thank you. See, Linnea, you the truth. You the truth. I tell you that all the time, all right. The after party. though, ladies and gentlemen. Set yourselves up for that. Then you guys can really come hang out. There'll be pictures. It'll be a good time. I do need the address for that again. Where's the after party at again? I forget. So shoot me the address to the after party too, Lynette. This is next weekend, y'all. So it ain't like you got a whole lot of time. Don't be trying to book nothing else on Saturday now. All right. I want y'all there with us and having a good time. There we go. There we go. Right here. There it is. 1600 West Baltimore Street. So what time again? What time are we kicking that off? I know the premiere is what, 3:30? And look, Linnea, Bobby had to give me that information. That's how he pays attention. He's locked in. I'm trying to tell you. Bobby's the truth though too. So I appreciate everybody. And I'm not staying on here much longer. Everybody come. What's up with this show? Why y'all wait till like, half an hour and a half into the show to come chat with me? Yeah, Bobby is the man. So it's an 8 to 10. There it is, 8 to 10. All right. So the after party's at that address, which I'll show one more time. It's from 8 to 10, so a couple hours. Hey, 10 o'clock, you can even still, maybe go do something else after that. That might be a after party after the after party. You know what I'm saying? I might participate. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But let's see here. Oh, my man Dre. What's up, Dre? Son Dre. Yeah, it's my brother right here. He's in the movie. He's in both movies. He's got a nice little cameo in Running Lost, and he's gonna be uh, in Everything Matters. So Dre's a busy man. Plus, big shouts out to Reggie Ruckus and the 8x10, them fellas, and Deadline Records. Those fellas got a show March 10th, which is a Thursday, down to 8x10. So I didn't have that flyer prepared for everybody. I wasn't even, I don't know, it didn't cross my mind, but I'm letting everybody know right now. March 10th. Yep, down to 8x10. All the fellas from Deadline Records, a bunch of people on that particular ticket that's going to be performing. If you like hip hop music, check them fellas out. Yep. I said March, February 10th. Man, I'm all over the place. At least y'all are helping me out, man. You know what I mean? I don't have this information right in front of me right now. So it's February 10th. Is it really February? I thought it was March 10th, bro. February 10th. Dang. That's that's um that's next week, ain't it? What's today the Yeah, today's the second. That's like next week. Yeah, it's cool. I'll be there though. Hopefully Linnea can come out too. Bring Big Jason. Little Jason can't show up though. Bring Big J. Come on out, hang out with us. It's free between 8 and 10 for our after party. Okay, so like I was telling everybody, it's a lot of things going on here. It's a lot of stuff happening. It's hard for me to even keep up. I'm telling you, I think I gotta hire a secretary. I need a secretary now. Man, somebody to help me control the books. It's just, anybody out there that needs a job, holler at me, man. Like, dang, I need some help here. I need some help here. So let's see. What'd you say, Billy Bob? Billy Bob says, it would have been nice to have chatted with anyone or someone involved with watching the show tonight. Yeah, I know. Listen, when you came on, Billy Bob, the show was already over. My guest had to go. I will bring Jimmy back. Jimmy's got a fabulous story to talk about. Like I say, he holds a world record. I'm not even gonna show some of the content that I had lined up. We got in like what happens on the show all the time. The conversation just runs on about one particular subject, and then we might just ride it out for a little bit, and then before you know it, an hour goes by. So I don't really like to keep people on the show too long because it's a late night show or late enough, and I want them to get back to their evening. So, but I always try to stay on for all you you late arrivers to the show because I appreciate y'all, and I know y'all haven't seen we haven't done the show in a couple Wednesdays, so I definitely had to come back and let y'all know I'm still here, still doing everything. And there's a lot of excitement coming up for all of us because, as Linnea knows, Bobby knows, Sundre, Dre, he knows. I get everybody involved. Everybody basically on the feed is involved in what's going on in my life, their lives as well. So this is fun to me. This is what I do, and it won't stop. And you're going to see a series of shows. You're going to see the diversity of the Speak Your Mind show. You're going to see other people come in. You're going to see hip hop artists. You're going to see book writers. You're going to see politicians. Media types, actors. People. Who are doing some pretty big things to say the least. So it's just a really wide connection and attachments that I have with people, and it's constantly growing, constantly growing. I mean, it's just exciting. I don't have much to complain about. If you notice, you guys don't really hear me complain much because I don't really have much to complain about, and I don't live the most grand life. I just know how to appreciate what I have. I appreciate what I have. It's like I appreciate all of you for even staying up late with me, for this show. I don't know who next week's guest is going to be. So I'm working on that. Um, but don't be surprised if it's just something completely out of the ordinary. You're going to be like, there you go. Derek Stroman in that daggone Speak Your Mind show. He's always throwing a curveball, a little twist. But we are getting ready to enter a season of um, change. That's the only thing that's consistent is change. As this is what I say this quite often because it's the only thing that you can trust to happen is continual change. And being from this, being from this state and born in Baltimore City, I favor it. I want to see change. I want to see things get better. Um, and some of these people we put in a position of power, they're the ones that essentially they're responsible for helping towards that gradual shift. So I want to hear what they have to say. I want y'all to listen to what they have to say, and chime in and say, hey, dude, you serious? You really think that you're going to do this? Are you going to be able to help? And what makes you think that you are the best one for the job? So I like to get these people to answer those questions. To be honest with you, I'm going to ask them. You know, um, Back to Linnea though. Big shots out. She did something awesome for me today. She gave me an honor that I was not expecting, and I really took that to heart. To for what she did and how she did it, and so thank you, Linnea, for kind of nominating me as especially here in Black History Month, the second day in, as a black gentleman that is making a semi impact in people's lives and doing some really cool stuff in the film world, and you know everybody hears me rave on about my coaching and how I've helped young people develop into young individuals that care about themselves and have started to do pretty good in their lives. Um, so don't downplay those people that matter to the young generation because that's what it's about. The young generation, they're our future. Never forget that. You can't look at them and say, "Oh, whatever, kid, I ain't got time for you." They are our future, so don't forget about them, please. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here before I start preaching or continue preaching more. Y'all know how I get. Let's see. Yes, congratulations, brother. Oh, hold on. Where we go? You are welcome. We are making Black history. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And appreciate yourself. I don't care what you look like, what your gender is, where you're from. Appreciate yourself. You are special. You are unique. And don't forget it because I think you forget it. I think people forget that sometimes because you look around and you see people doing better than you, but you are unique. There is nobody like you. Nobody. Understand that. That's why we have our own identities, our own separate fingerprints. Do you understand? You are unique. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody bring you down ever, ever. So, so I appreciate that. Yep, Linnea, I appreciate that. See, y'all going to get me in here sobbing, man. Don't get me started. It's too late to be messing with y'all right now. Too late to be messing with y'all. But true story, though. Believe in yourself. Yes, congratulations, brother. I appreciate the honor um, for you as well. So, yeah, thanks. That was cool that she did that. I saw you like that post, too, Bobby. I wasn't expecting it. It just came out. I looked, I was tagged. I wouldn't check that. I said, what? I said, my goodness, man. That's the first time for me. Nobody's ever done that for me. I tell the Jordans all the time, um, what they mean. I mean, they're doing things that nobody's ever treated me like that. You see my company in the background. I just been going hard basically by myself, and by myself, I'm just trying to help others since day one. I create shows, I showcase people, I put them in front of the camera, I introduce them to other people to help them proceed forward and progress in their life. That's all I do every day. I'll go to sleep in a few hours and get up and do the same thing tomorrow. It's just what I do. It's just what I do. And when somebody like what she did says, you know what, I'm acknowledging you. You're being. I'm going to show you I appreciate you for what you're doing. That matters to me because I don't ask for it. I don't expect it to come. I don't wait for somebody to go, good job, Derek Stroman. I don't wait for none of that. I don't wait for none of that because I feel myself that I matter. So that's what it's all about to me, y'all. And thank y'all for listening to me go on and on. The show was supposed to be over a long time ago. Yes. No, thank you, Linnea. Thank you and your family and everything that we're about to do in the future here. Okay. So that's it. That's it, y'all. I know you laughing at me. I get it's what time is it? It ain't that late. Plus, I have my nap, so I feel pretty good. But you know, it's a little hidden joke, little joke, that we got going on there. She know how important my naps are to me. Yeah, I know I'm the comedian. No, I'm about to get off this feed and let y'all go about y'all business. But thank you all so much. You know, words can't really express how I feel about the people who support me, and I'll show you. You'll see me. You got my number. Hit me up. We doing stuff. We casting for productions. Linnea's got all kinds of stuff going on as far as her writings, her ideas, her stories. We need people. We need aspiring people that want to become something, that want to be better, that want to create something, that want to show the world that they're not just, you know, uh, who their first and last names are, or just some male, female walking up the street, or they know. No, these are talents. These are people who have something to show the world because you remember how it was as a kid, right? You wanted to be something. You wanted to do something. You said, man, I'm going to be this when I grow up. I'm going to do this. And then, real life happened and it beat you down. Man, I'm just going to kick back. I ain't doing nothing today. I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to grab this 40 ounce, find me a good movie to watch and just kick it. And then you lose faith. But you can't quit. Don't give up on your dreams, y'all. You know what I mean? I was supposed to be some kind of big rap star. I mean, it only went but so far. What was I supposed to do? Give up? Just throw in a towel, say my life is over. So as y'all can see, I didn't do that. I wouldn't advise anybody else to do that. What do you say? Hold on, before I get out of here, Linnea Jordan, he really needs to get a Mr. Rogers sweater. Used to, I know, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, right? I'm terrible. Thanks a lot for that, Bobby. When you gonna get off this feed, bro? Like you stay on from the beginning to the end. Nah, it's cool. Thanks though. That's cool, bro. I know. Preacher, terrible. Um, Nadir Jones. What? Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up with you, man? That's my man from the Blackheart trailer. What's going on with you? He said, You said I appreciate what I have. Impossible to worry about what I don't have. Mo, Big Mo, that's what it was. Mo, yeah, yeah, no doubt. And by the way, because you came in audition too. So Lene, if you still watching, we got to get Nadir involved more. We got to get him. We're gonna get him involved. We're gonna get him involved. Don't you worry, bro. You know we're gonna find something else for you. Something where you can showcase your talents. I thought you played Mo perfectly. Well, you carried that role. Carried that role. So let's um let's try to incorporate him, Lanier. Excuse me. Let's see. What you say? Hey, no problem, man. Anytime, anytime. It's just the beginning. Something. That's why I say y'all got to keep hitting me up. I get a lot of phone calls, and sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me. But if you keep hitting me, be like, I check my messages. I'm like, that's right. Let me hit my man's up. Just see how he doing. When I think of people, I tell them there all the time. I'm like, hey, I know it's somebody that we could use for this role. Be perfect. And then I forget who it is, but if y'all just keep hitting me up, just blow my inbox up. It don't matter. Blow it up. I'll find you. Good, man. Holding on, man. You keep it up, man. We here for you. We got cooling, refrigeration, and heating. I know y'all. Yeah, if y'all, hey, look, come on, reach out to them. You need some kind of plumbing work done. They the truth. I know because I've been in a crib. Well, for those that don't understand slang like that, their house. Yeah, I've been in their house where I see all the stuff that they've done personally. Jason Jordan is a hands-on guy. He knows how to install anything. So yeah, you need some kind of plumbing work done and things of that nature. HVAC, give cooling, refrigeration, heating a call. Those guys, they know what to do. They know what to do. Ah, man, my man Troy. Troy, you know what? I'm gonna have to bring you on. Hey, Troy, if you still watching, I'm gonna give you a shout tomorrow. It's about time we do that interview, bro. It's about time we do that interview. We still ain't done it yet, so let's make it happen. All right, because you're doing some pretty big things on your end, and I haven't had the opportunity to talk to you about any of it, none. So I mean, other than in person, but I want the audience, I want everybody else to get an opportunity to find out who exactly you are and what you're doing. Um, 'Cause you're doing some really awesome things. You've won plenty of awards, and this gentleman works for Universal Records, so he's doing this thing. Been doing this thing for a while. Won plenty of awards, BET, the whole nine. Doing this thing, Troy Edwards. Yeah, get familiar with the name. I'm gonna bring you on. If you ain't doing nothing Wednesday, Troy, I want you to come on the show. I want you to come on the show. So yeah, he's doing big things. Doing big things. Um, yeah, what's up, man? It's good to hear from you again too. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, though, Troy. All right, so don't even sweat that. Brother Chino, you still watching too? We say you set the path. This is my guy right here. I feel like you. I feel like I'm Anakin Skywalker or somebody, and you like Obi-Wan. Because when you hit me, you set the path in your place, the stone for the innocence of learning in these journeying bags of bones. Like you like I don't know. I'm telling you, bro. I hope you writing this stuff down because it's all inspirational. Yeah, yeah, for sure though, Troy. I'm gonna call you tomorrow though. Don't even sweat that because we're gonna set that up. I'm looking for next week's guest anyway. So before I get back into that whole stream, y'all gonna get tired of some of that, but like I said, I listen. I want people to know what's going on, and I know these people, a lot of them. I know a lot of them, and if they the movers and shakers, then let's see what they trying to move and shake around. Hopefully it ain't us, like like puppets. But kind of come with it. You a puppet on the string? I'm not. That's why I go the other way. You can't control me like that. I break all them strings. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. We got encouragement. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Now, dear, we're gonna get you hooked up though. We're gonna get you hooked up. We I don't know. I kind of forgot um for a minute because whenever Linnea comes up with like roles and stuff like that, I was like just trying to search through my mental Rolodex. You know? Thanks for explaining the crib. It would be you. It would be you that has to comment on that. Working on the hobby research. Working on my hobby research for Sanford. Oh, that's right, Ricky. So Ricky hit me up about you playing one of the cops, one of the police officers. I said yes. I said Bobby will smash that role. So now Bobby's going to be in a play, y'all, with enough study and rehearsing. Now I'm gonna tell you, Ricky and Howard, they don't play around a lot, bro. So master your craft, be the best you could be. Because guess what? It's probably going to be me and Jason in the audience, filming the thing. So I want you, you represent us. Come on, you represent our team. You got, I'm gonna be like Bobby. Come on, do it, Bobby. But he's such a natural that it won't matter. Like Bobby will improvise anyway. He's gonna be amazing. He's just that kind of dude. So I got nothing but faith in you anyway, Bobby. Don't even sweat that. I ain't got nothing but faith in you. Bob's gonna be dope. Watch, Linnea, trust. Bob, Linnea's congratulating you right now. All right, she know. You know what I mean? Everything about what it is the showcase of play. Because by the way, a right kind of love premieres. Well, it's going to be shown at the Lithuanian Hall. I should say that 3 times fast. The Lithuanian Hall on the 12th. So that's back-to-back weekends that um, productions are going to be showed here for Jordan Productions. So let me see something here. Let me show that flyer real quick. Right kind of love. Where is it? There it is. So get ready for that, y'all. Right kind of love. Um, Hold on. I gotta take that off. Okay. There it is. Right kind of love. All the information is on there. Okay. Um, 851 Holland Street. That's Baltimore, Maryland, of course. February 12th. You see it. 2022. Yep. That's this year in a couple days. Um, if you want to purchase a ticket now, all you have to do is Cash App Linnea Jordan right now and get your ticket. They're only $40. But what you're about to experience is worth it. There it is. A right kind of love, y'all. And 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Was the time not on the? How do we not put the time on the flyer? Yeah, we can't do that next time. So 8 p.m. And it's on Eventbrite if you want to purchase online. So it's on Eventbrite. Okay. 8 p.m. showtime. Are you sure it's not on there? I'm like, wait a minute. That's weird how we didn't put the kind of weird how we didn't put the time on the poster. It's all good. It's all good. Now you know. 8 p.m. y'all. If you ain't doing nothing, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, come on out and support. Okay. Let's see. There he is, LB Kirkland. Look, yeah, look, Kirkland in the building. What's up, Kirk? So proud of y'all. We so proud of you, Kirkland in the building. Oh man, y'all want me? Oh, you know what? Did I do it? Oh, let me see something. I'm gonna do it right now. Stand by, y'all. You know what? Nope, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Hold on. What I'm talking about not doing is showing y'all the trailer, but I might do it anyway. But you know what? Nope. I waited too long. I waited too long. I ain't messing with y'all no more tonight. I gotta give y'all something to be. I know you want me to show the clip. Why do y'all wait till the end of the show to come on and holler at me? Jeez, jeez. It's not set up. Nope. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it only because all right. Let me see something real quick. If y'all got time, what time is it? 9:37. All right, hold on. Let me do something real quick. Let me do something real quick. Y'all got time. I going to show it. We did a couple trailers. Hold on. So hang with me. I'm gonna show you all these couple trailers, and then we'll close it out for the night. Running Loss. What happened? Oh, shit. My bad, y'all. Hang with me. Y'all was on here all this time. Hang with me a couple more minutes. Hang with me a couple more minutes. There we go. Yep. Almost there. Now. All right. There it is. Dang, it's up to 505 views, y'all. All right, let me move this over here real quick. All right. Let's see.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it.
I don't know. Let me know if y'all can hear this or not. Hold on. All right, here it is. The Running Lost trailer.
For about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit. Okay, so here's my essay.
Yo, I tell you. Look. They leave from around here, right? Like 8 hours later, he come back looking for her. Says she done robbed him. 5 stacks. He going, fucking burn. Yo, she hit him with 3.
There you go. That's one of them. Did y'all hear that? Okay. Did y'all see it? Hit him with the three, right? Yeah, we hit him with the three real quick. So y'all heard it everything. I mean, just everything played all right. Y'all could hear everything fine. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something real quick. Was that cool? Was that cool? Anybody? Y'all heard everything? Okay, no response. I'm guessing everything was fine. Um, I got one more for y'all. One more. And then we can shut it down. I keep saying, right? Good comments coming in. What was that? Oh, shucks. Hold on one second. Not showing it again. So y'all heard, okay, it was good. All right, cool. Thanks, Bobby. All right, one more and then we can boogie. I want y'all to watch the trailer. It's my daughter and LB once again. This was the teaser trailer. That's my baby girl right there, little Leah Signey. Big shouts out to Jay too, by the way, on the edits.
Mommy, someone's at the door. Mommy, someone's at the door. Who is it?
Who is it?
It's me. Hey, Sue.
Again, big shouts out to Jay Roberts over in the UK. He does all the edits and all the great graphics work. It's my man. So, all right. There it was. So there you have it. I took the time out. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing that tonight only because I just didn't really know how the show was going to go. But, I'm glad Linnea popped on and said, you know what, go ahead and run with it. Show them it, get everybody pumped for these two productions. You like that? Hey, did you like that idea? You stuck around for it? Cool, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, team effort. Jason Jordan, Jordan Jr., Baby J, Jordan Productions, obviously JR Design and Video, JR Graphics, excuse me, Design and Video. Of course, myself, Strowman Entertainment. It's all of us just combined, just creating stuff. Big facts, definitely already. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, yeah. No, enough respect to you. Yeah, man, I see you too, Larry. You know what I mean? Definitely historic stuff we doing. I'm just keeping it real, just having fun. Seriously, having fun, man. Having a good time. I think I already showed you there, didn't I? Yeah, but hey, it's what we do, y'all. If you want to be a part of it, all you gotta do is just respond to some of these, these flyers, these castings, these um, excuse me, opportunities to be in something that we're shooting. We're right up the street from y'all. Like this is local. This is what y'all should be doing. This is how we should support each other. You know, um, support your local talent. Support the people right there with you. That's up the street from you. L.A. and Chicago and New York and Miami and Atlanta, and I mean they doing it for them where they're at respectively. What about us? We here. We're here. Why don't we do this ourselves here? They come in here to your own state to film. So they here, HBO, Netflix, Hollywood. They come here because of our landscape to film in your backyard. And then they go back home and make you watch your own landscape and it's like, yeah, it was in Maryland when they did that. So just support your locals. Support, you ain't gotta support everybody. You really don't like somebody that did you dirty, you ain't gotta support them. I'm not telling you to support the ones that do you dirty. I ain't and they right here in your backyard too. They might have, did you a certain kind of way. I'm not telling you to support them. I'm telling you, or not even telling you nothing. I'm asking you to support people like me. I ain't did you dirty. I'm saying, support me. Support people who I'm supporting that ain't did you dirty either. Because we're trying to help you and everybody else too. So, there's a fine line. I'm not saying just go out there and I'm gonna just support you. I'm gonna kick out $40, $50 and the proverbial piece of crap. And I'm gonna show you, nah, I ain't saying that. I'm saying um I'm leading by example. I'm not out there doing nobody dirty. I'm not gouging nobody. I'm not ripping people off. I'm not doing none of that. But I fulfill my end of the bargain. So you could feel okay supporting me. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Trust me. You ain't gotta feel a certain type of way. What you say, my dear? Um, I've even gotten a chance to cast for the part. Dude was talking in the living room. I suppose I was supposed to laugh and spit my spiel. Yeah, no doubt. What you say, Larry? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keys and plugs. Support is the key and plug for sure. It is. Support each other. We got musicians. I mean, we got it all. Musicians. We got hip hop artists. We got R&B artists. Graphics designers. I mean, we have it all. I mean, we do. Pretty much everything you need to create something completely original across the board, top to bottom. You know what I mean? You start it, you film everything, you add all the intangibles that need to be in it to make a production to where you can put it on the big screen, and you wrap it up in a nice little bow and you distribute it. That's how the big boys do it. They looking at us now because a lot of independents are out there creating all this content. They're like, how are these guys doing it? Like, well, you know, software, equipment, camera gear, things like that. That's how they do it. They just have the real big budgets. So do what you can, make it. Like you said, the gumbo. Larry said it best. It's a gumbo. Put it all together, stir it in a big pot, let it marinate. You might have yourself a nice little tasty treat. You know what I mean? Straight up, LB. Let me see here. I did appreciate the opportunity. No problem, bro. You ain't even really got started. I know you was in Black Harbor Watch, bro. I mean, you're gonna be in some more stuff too, bro. So just stand by and hang with us, man. Hang with us. Don't give up on us. What you say, Bobby? Bobby go hard though. I'm forever grateful for the tight circle of friends in this group. You're all stars to me. Yeah, likewise. And then Bobby's one I like to talk about a lot because, I see him and he'll come forth with the pure honesty about how much I mean to him and what I've done in his life, and that's what it's about to me. So, from the coach, the football coach, the basketball coach, the soccer coach that I am, I've watched, you know, um, young people, how I can impact the young people. You know, it was different. It seemed easier, right? They're young, but then I got more seasoned. I start, coaching at a higher level, high school, semi-pro, and it's like a transition. It's the same with the entertainment industry. Now, Bobby's older than me. Bobby, probably close enough to be my father, and he's saying the same thing that the young people whose lives are impacted are saying. It's like, so it's across the board. It's not, it don't have nothing to do with age. It just has to do with what you can do, to provide influence in the right direction. It makes you see how people can manipulate minds, because if I was a bad guy or had bad intentions and I'm trying to raise a whole community of bad people who didn't know, with a faulty sense of thinking patterns, I probably could have did that too, because you have people doing that. I tell people all the time, you want to be a superhero or you want to be a supervillain, because the choice is yours. You know, I want to be a superhero. I'm not using my gifts, my special powers for evil. That's it. And I close with my Marvel, end quote, Jerry Springer final thoughts of the day, real quick. Yeah, do good, do good, be good to people, man. That's it. But that's it, everybody. Thanks for sticking around as I go through that. I spent a whole hour just on something completely different than what the show was intended to be. You know, yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Bobby. Yep, that's much love too, Bobby, from both LBL and there. That's much love. I'm saying it too. Thank you, sir. Can't wait to see you in um the tribute to Sanford and Son. That's what them guys are doing. That's their stage play. A tribute to Sanford and Son. It's awesome how they just reinvented that classic Red Fox joint, Sanford and Son. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. You have been an awesome audience all night. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all the best. I don't even really want to shut it down because it seemed like y'all appreciate me and trying to shed some light on some things. So get ready for the next show. Hopefully, I can bring Troy on. So Troy Edwards. Hopefully, if Troy's busy or he can't come on, you might see somebody else. You might just see me again. But it seemed like y'all cool with that too. So I appreciate y'all. Until the next episode, y'all have a fabulous evening. This has been a Speak Your Mind show. I am Derek Stroman, and I will see you all next Wednesday. Good night.